So, you're about to graduate from your teaching degree and you've been working really hard and you've had exams and assignments and placement, and now reality is setting in and you are about to start as an actual full-time teacher. So, I thought today I would try and give a few tips on what you can do in order to help yourself get the best start as a teacher and really form a great first impression when you start teaching. I've been teaching for 9 years, and over that time I've had quite a few students on placement with me, and they've all been fantastic. But as I have had experience with more and more students, I start thinking about more and more things I think it's important for them to know. So one of the first things I would really recommend is really try and take advantage of the time you're on placement. It's the time to muck up. It's the time to make mistakes. Obviously, you're wanting to do a good job, you're trying to do your best, but inevitably things are going to go wrong. And that's how you learn. You know that. You tell the kids that. But it's really important that you remember that yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you have a lesson that you've planned for hours and it just goes to rubbish, because that's life, that happens sometimes. And you'll be able to really think about and reflect about your experiences in what went wrong and how you could fix it for next time. While you're on placement, I'd also really highly recommend that you start taking lots and lots of photos. Any work that you're doing with the kids, try and take a photo of it, document it, and you can add those ones that are really appropriate to your digital portfolio. Obviously, you might not add everything, however, it's great to have that reminder there of what you actually did do. And when it comes to interview time, you can refer back to that portfolio and it gives you a talking point so that you can sort of direct the interview a little bit, which is fantastic when you're just starting out, because I just remember my first job interview, I was so nervous and I can't even believe I got the job. I was just shaking like a leaf. So that's something else I recommend. In terms of the staff at your school, try and form some relationships with maybe your associate teacher, also other staff. Reach out. Don't be afraid to talk to people in the staff room. The staff are used to having teachers out there on placement, and even though it might be tempting to be checking your phone and checking Facebook and things like that at recess, really try and limit it so that you're able to find out a bit about the people you're working with and sort of make yourself a bit memorable, because you never know, you might end up going for a job at that school either at the end of the year or in a few years, and you want them to remember you and remember who you are and what type of person you are. So if you try and make an effort with people, they'll make an effort with you back and will really remember you. Something else I'd really recommend while you're out on placement is to volunteer as much as possible. School concerts, fetes, trivia nights, anything that's on, say yes to if you can. I know it's hard when you've got other commitments and you've got part-time jobs and assignments and stuff, but if you can say yes, try to. That way you'll be seen as a team player and they'll remember that they'll think of you as a professional and think of you as a colleague rather than a student. And that can stand you in really good stead when it comes to the application process and looking for jobs. You can put all of those type of things on your portfolio and talk about them in your job interview when you have your first interviews. Another thing I'd recommend is try and get a job working with children if you can. Some people work in swimming schools, some people try and get jobs in holiday programs as nannies, babysitters. Anything like that is great and shows that you have the practical experience. Because when principals are looking for somebody, they want to see that you're a person who's capable on the ground, not just somebody who knows all the theory. You need to have the practical side, because a lot of teaching is the practical side of things. So if you've got experience around kids and show that you genuinely enjoy working with kids, then that's obviously going to be seen as a positive for you. When you finish up your placement, try and leave a really good lasting impression. And even if you've had a rocky round or you haven't had the best experiences there, you still want to leave people remembering you in the best way possible. So if that might mean bringing in something little for morning tea to share with the staff, because teachers love cake. Also, you might want to give a thank you card to your associate teacher or a little gift, something like that, just so that they remember you on a really positive note. And it looks like you've put in the effort rather than just rushing off and thinking about getting straight back into uni. that's something small like that can make all the difference. When it comes to writing up your CV or resume and actually applying for jobs, my number one tip is to get somebody else who might be in the field to try and read your resume. If you're not sure what a resume should look like, hopefully your uni can help you out. But if you're not sure, ask one of the teachers that you're on placement with if they can perhaps guide you and give you some ideas. They might be able to proofread it for you, just so that you can double check that everything that needs to be there is included. In a lot of schools, you have to include key selection criteria, and that can be quite daunting. So ask teachers there if they can help you with that. When it comes to actually applying, and I know it varies state to state, and probably what happens in Australia might be different, the application process might be different to other parts of the world. However, if you can, really try to apply for jobs that aren't being advertised. Often schools have last minute changes, and at the end of the year things happen really quickly sometimes. So if you can apply for a position or just drop in your resume at a school and hand it to the principal, speak with the principal, you might have an opportunity to get a job that you didn't know was going, and it might just be a convenient way for the principal to employ someone if they actually meet them, because they've already got a first impression of what they're like. So by going in, having a chat, dropping off your resume, it can also open you up to CRT work, so casual relief teaching in the future, if you need that as well. So some graduates have said to me they didn't realise they were allowed to do that. They didn't realise they were allowed to just go into a school and speak to a principal. But most of the time you'll find that principals are really welcoming and will welcome somebody who's enthusiastic and is willing to put themselves out there and have a go in that way. So if you are finishing up your teaching degree and uni's coming to an end, I know you probably can't wait to finish, but just try and use the time there really wisely, and take advantage of your placement, take advantage of all the resources. You might never get to see that many different types of schools again. You might find yourself working in a position for a long time. So just try and take advantage of the diversity while you can, and good luck. If you've got any questions or comments, just leave them in the box below. I'm happy to answer anyone's questions. And if you'd like to find out more about teaching and listen to some more videos like this, just follow me on Instagram at Little Apple Learning, and stay tuned, subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it, and hopefully I can bring you more teaching tips in the future. Thanks.